Hey guys, welcome back to Minegames. This is part 2 of 2. We'll be talking about perseverance today. I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get into it. Getting is that so what's it called what you're highlighting is it makes me think about like people talk about perseverance, right? In that sense of like the Gary Vaynerchuk sense of just like basically keep your head down and work and work and work and work smart, right? But like work, just keep working, keep moving, right? But often it's really hard to keep moving when you are moving alone, and everyone wants to be like move in silence or move on your own and do it on your own, right? Like or like be self-made. But to a certain extent, like most aspects of life take a team. Whether that team is your mom and your dad and you, or your mom and your family and you,
Yeah.
or it's you and your friends, or it's you and your high school basketball, football, soccer team, or it's you and your counselor or whatever you want to say, or you and your uncle, right? It takes a team to do a lot of things, and we want to do everything on our own, but really we need support to a certain extent, and we completely ignore that. It's like if you don't have that support, it's like it's damn near impossible to do most things.
That's perfect. That's so true. I think we live in a age or generation with, unfortunately, you know, maybe from 25 and under, young people are under the impression that I gotta have my own brand, my own grind, I know you have adults my age telling you that, which it's really kind of unfair because everybody my age, maybe from 34, 35 and older, um, if they're honest with themselves, much of the success they have acquired, is because they've had somebody they can lean on and had opportunities by people they knew or some connection. Um, Good example, the job opportunity that I have now is somebody that I knew from
Childhood,
my
right?
my teenagehood, yeah, and I developed the skill set that he was looking for, and he's trusted me with, um, you know, his treasure chest, for lack of better words, that he
Financially, right, for the business
yeah,
now.
um, obviously I won't mention the business, but the point being that, you know, you do need, not only do you need the skill set, you need the connections and that opportunity to walk
To
into.
succeed.
John Maxwell has a quote that says, when preparation, so you develop the skill set,
Skills, everything you need.
meets opportunity, you get success.
But if you don't get opportunity or you
Yeah.
don't have preparation, then
Yeah.
there's no success.
So, and the reality, when you're young, there's no way about it, guys. I mean, we all come into the world as babies, and there's a growth process. At 18 or 20,
Most people aren't
you
ready.
you aren't ready because you just haven't had that life experience, and it's not fair. I remember it's being, oh man, 20, and I see a 30-year-old, 35. It's like, um, I don't have, first of all, the life experience, the skill set he's developed in the last 10, 15 years that he's had ahead of me. And you can also translate that into sports. Obviously, if you're a young athlete, unless you're a phenomenal athlete and you have those once in a while, the phenom and the prodigy, but
Most people aren't prodigies.
yeah, you're gonna have, even if you go to NFL and you're a good player, you're gonna be facing guys who have been playing 10, 15 years, and guess what? They're gonna school you
Because they just know things you don't.
yeah, they know things they're mature, and they're still, say you're going at 21 because you're a phenom at that sport. You're gonna face guys who are 30 who for a young person might think that's old, but at that they're still kind of in their prime, and they're gonna be like, they're gonna have the skill set that you still haven't developed. So going back to the business world or the career world, that's the same thing. Unless you have a stroke of good luck and you have this blow up in your YouTube channel or your
Or startup or
yeah,
whatever.
and that happens. But those are like, you
You can't-
know,
It's almost like you can't bet on hoping that you're going to become Facebook. Like,
yeah, that's those are far and few between. They're not the rule. They're
the exception. Not
the
even the exception. They're the
exception.
anomaly. They're not
Yeah.
even the exception. They're like,
So, you know, so to the point is that you do need a support system. Um, you need to enjoy whatever you are
trying to do.
trying to pursue, trying to be the best you can be in that career field, field or whatever you try and do. Develop that skill set so when opportunity does come, you're ready. You're ready to succeed. And even then, you still have to keep growing and keep. There's still going to be a growth. Just like right now, I'm in a new position. It's a very rewarding position, but there's a big learning curve and it's a big responsibility. But I have the skill sets to develop more skills. So, you know, and so even now I'm persevering. You know, the first week, not so much now. The first week, I'm like, man, did I bite too much? Maybe I'm not. Yeah, maybe I'm not qualified for this. And so those thoughts even came through my mind. And you know, I'm not young by any extension of the word, but I'm not an old guy. But you know, the fact is that everybody goes through that phase. You know, if you once you encounter a challenge, you're gonna go through that. Man, can I actually do this? Am I gonna be able to? Am I gonna be able to perform? It's kind of go through that. But then through time, you know, you start learning things. You're like, okay, I'm getting it. I'm grasping it. So that's part of perseverance. Going through that stage of, oh man,
getting through the basically getting through the I suck stage of things.
Yeah, and that's going to be in anything, even things you enjoy. You know, I remember, I knew my son was learning to draw, and I'm a good artist, you know, and he would be, Dad, am I going to be able to draw like as good as you? And I told me it takes practice, just keep doing it. And now he's an awesome artist. So he persevered because that's something he wanted. He enjoyed and he wanted to learn. But he like he said, he sucked at it. He felt like he sucked at it compared to me because that was he was going by. This is
what 10, 15 years into it.
Yeah. So
versus what, like 3 or 4.
And I remember I went through the same thing when my uncle. I picked up the love for art. And when my uncle was drawing this thing in front of me, and I just thought it was awesome how he was able to draw things, and it almost looked like he made things come to life, you know, in my childhood mind, and it just fascinated me, and I started drawing. I would spend hours drawing, but at first the same thing. I was just, it doesn't look like how my uncle drew it in my mind, I would say, and I just keep practicing. So I developed that skill set, and people say, "Well, it comes easy to you," but looking back, I had to spend time and effort to do it, right?
It's almost like it's going back to the whole self-doubt and perseverance thing. Like, you have to know when to stop and when to go. But the thing is, you also have to give things the amount of time they need for you to really understand, like whether or not you enjoy this thing. And to a certain extent, I guess that goes into like, your time is limited, right? So you have to decide whether or not, do I want to follow this? Like, you have to be like, is this thing really exciting enough for me to be like, oh, I actually want to spend that 2 years learning how good this is? Because like something, let's say like, say something like golf, right? I've never thought golf was interesting, right? And I've been like golfing, quote unquote, like I haven't actually played a golf game, but I've been out there on a field, right? But it's not something I think that I really would like. If I'm playing golf, right, my mind's gonna do the little like competitive thing, and it's gonna be, oh, we gotta become the best ever. But like thinking about it right now, I don't think golf's ever anything I want to do. Like, I'm gonna put 2 years into to really understand, do I like golf or not? But surfing, on the other hand, I've been out surfing like 3 or 4 times, but it's one of those things where you get out there and you like the water hits your skin and you forget that you're like doing anything else. It's not like, it's just, I become like the one with the water. It's almost like it's a different feeling. I feel alive. And that's something that I would, even though I completely suck, I can't even get up on the board right now, I would do it again tomorrow and the next day to really figure it out, to learn it's called how the waves move and how it's called the board hits the water, to really get a feel for it. Like, I would do that.
Okay. So you're saying that would be, are you trying to draw an example?
I'm going to an example of like how to really draw the line between perseverance, knowing when to cut your losses, and knowing when something is worth the time to start, or whether or not just being like, basically I'm trying to give an example of when knowing that I'm not going to just start something is me being like lazy or like scared, or versus me being knowledgeable of myself. Because if I never did surfing ever again, like if I never tried, that would be me being just kind of lazy or scared of the results. But me not playing golf, on the other hand, because I never really enjoyed it, even when I did get around to doing it, it's just me knowing myself that I probably don't want to do that.
All right, I see what you're saying. And I guess, for final thoughts here, I think we can recap and say perseverance means that you can try. We're all learning. We're all human beings. We're when we're born, we're not like given this is what you're meant to do.
Mm-hmm.
Some people feel like that's, at a certain age, they feel like I was born for this or whatever the case is. But I think the majority of us don't really have that clear vision to say, I was born to be the greatest soccer player in the world, or whatever the case is, right?
To a certain extent, like, you can almost make yourself feel like you're born for something. Like, if you do it long enough and you're good at it, after a while you start getting so good that you're like, oh, my fingers just do it. And you're like, it's almost like you think you were born for it, but really it's you put 10, 12 years, 15 years into this thing.
True.
And now you can just make it happen. So yeah, to finish, maybe perseverance is a lot wider than we draw it out to be. And it encompasses knowing, being wise, knowing when to quit, and also knowing when not to quit. Those are all going to perseverance, because there's no gain in biting your teeth down and doing something you hate if you don't win in the end. Like, if you just bleed out and like just waste your time, like, what was the point of gritting your teeth and the whole purpose? So have a good time, everybody. If you enjoyed what we were talking about, like and subscribe. Request another extension to this if you want to hear more, or come back next week for another video on a different topic. See you later.
All right, guys. Talk to you guys next time.
Hey guys, that was the end of the video. Like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. Come back next time. See you later.